some days you can cope with it, some days you can't.
When she caught COVID 2 years ago, it attacked her gastrointestinal system. She lost so much weight, she ended up in hospital. And ever since then, she's had to be fed through a tube.
The main one was the stomach pains. She was complaining of really bad stomach pains, where she was like actually bent over, crying out in pain.
Tilly is now back at school part-time, but can't do any of the other things she used to enjoy.
You got to think about not even just that day, you got to think about the next day. Because if we've got something important the next day, I can't do anything that day. Because the next day I'll be really tired and my leg will hurt and I just won't feel well. I try and think all the positives about it and try and think, oh, I'm going to get better, I'm going to get better. But actually, you don't really know.
Jamie Warrington-Grace loves her sport: netball, tennis, cross country.
Go, go, go!
But after she got COVID in April, everything changed.
Very dramatically, it slowed down a lot and become a bit more boring. I'm not going to school, not doing any of my sports, not doing any running, just relaxing and waiting for long COVID to go.
That's right, at just 15 years old, Jamie has long COVID.
My symptoms have been lightheadedness, dizziness, getting exhausted throughout the day really easily. I can really only do about an hour a day of school. It's just too much for me. I get really tired and then I can't focus and I don't remember what I read either, so it's a bit annoying.
Like before this, she was doing squash and swimming, and she can't do that at the moment.
Yeah.
Imani is so exhausted she sometimes sleeps for 18 hours a day, and this is only the second time she's left the house since Christmas.
It's just been hell.
Do you feel like you're making any progress?
I feel like it's slow. I'm slowly getting better.
When did you last go to school?
A year ago, last year, January.
How do you feel about that?
I feel I really miss school and I miss my friends and I just want my normal life back.
That doesn't seem too much for a teenager to ask, but for now, all Imani and her parents can do is keep waiting and hoping and living with the effects of long COVID.
13-year-old Hudson Beard was a healthy 7th grader. Now he's a COVID long hauler. He came down with the virus in November and has not recovered.
When COVID hit him, it hit hard.
Months later, Hudson is in constant debilitating pain, his condition not improving. Just last week, Hudson got a chance to ask Dr. Anthony Fauci for help at this lecture.
Every day when I wake up, I have constant migraines, severe headaches, and I'm super dizzy. My stomach hurts, I vomit, my heart races, and I can't read or write. No other doctors can help me. Can you help me?
Doctor.
Can you have the blanket, please?
Right.
Well, my favourite sports are like football and rugby. I used to play rugby on a Sunday and football on a Saturday.
It's been really difficult to see him not able to go, not able to do it, and to not know when he might be able to do it again.
The first time I used a wheelchair it was really uncomfortable, and I just thought like, oh, when will I be able to walk again?
It's been like going back to having a baby again. That's how it's felt, because he hasn't been able to do anything for himself.
I've just been in agony. Obviously it started with a really, really bad cough, and then it just progressed on, got worse and worse, and it just started with this immense pain in my shoulder, and then went on to just be my whole body, and it just overtook me, and it was excruciating.
The hardest thing I've ever had to hear your little boy say, I don't want to live anymore because I'm just in so much pain and I can't do anything, I can't move, I can't get out of bed. There's no point. And it was just absolutely terrifying to hear that.
It certainly wasn't on Emily's family's radar until she got COVID 5 months ago. She spent 14 nights in hospital and still has numerous symptoms, including pain so severe she has to be on a type of morphine. She can only go to school for a couple of hours a day.
The pain in my body is stopping me from moving properly, and so I'm having to rebuild all the muscles in my legs and back. It's really hard.
It's utterly devastating. Ems was a child who loved socialising. She loves being on the stage, she loves dancing, singing, acting, she loves swimming, and all of that has been ripped away. She is an academic, she loves being at school, but she can only be there for 2.5 hours a day. It's utterly heartbreaking that all of a sudden a child who had no underlying health conditions, who was completely fit, who was swimming lengths of a swimming pool 3 days before COVID, can now hardly move without being tired and in so much pain.
It stops me from dancing and doing my passions, like being on stage and just being me.
I used to be Queen Handstand. I used to be.
Jasmine has had long COVID for a year and uses a wheelchair now to help her manage her severe fatigue. Even watching telly can make her exhausted. Hearing her talk about who she used to be is devastating.
I used to do gymnastics, swimming, karate and dance, and I used to be able to go to school full time and go and meet up with my friends. I can't do any of that now because it's too much.
Like Emily, she can't manage school full time and he's worried about starting high school this September.
I don't want to be really the ill kid that can't go in and hang out with all the other kids. I don't really want to be that. I want to be like how I was and to socialise and to have my full education. Sometimes you don't appreciate what you have until it's gone, and I think that's really highlights my illness.
It's a lesson that no 11-year-old should have to learn.
This was Emma Sherman in spring last year, full of energy, practising gymnastics. Now things are very different.
I have extreme headaches, migraines, fatigue, muscle weakness, aches and pains all over my body.
Emma caught COVID, and more than a year later, the 14-year-old is still suffering symptoms.
I guess sport is the thing that's changed the most. I'm nowhere near as active as I used to be, but then also just simple things like, you know, my daily life, stuff that I would normally do, just even going for a short walk, I can't really do anymore.
It's something Emma now often needs a wheelchair in school and can only manage half days.
Probably the little things I miss the most. It's bizarre, like stuff that I wouldn't have missed before, like just going to school for a full day, which, you know, before you think, oh, school, I don't want to go to school. But now it's just like going to school for a whole day would just be amazing.
It's been a long and difficult journey, but Emma is hopeful that one day she'll be back doing all the things she loves.
I had mild COVID-19 symptoms for a couple of nights. I had a bit of a temperature and a headache. There are lots of physical symptoms. Because of these, I often feel miserable. I cry quite a lot. I just want to get better. Nothing the doctors do helps.
But it's clear this has taken its toll.
Mornings are the hardest times, so getting up out of bed, I have to take it really slowly. If I get up too quickly, I get really dizzy and I've fainted a few times because of it. At meal times, I'm not hungry because I can't taste things, so I don't really want to eat because textures of certain foods aren't nice. Then just throughout the day, trying to do activities whenever I'm able to, or whether I'm feeling okay, but then expecting to feel awful afterwards.
Rosie's a champion Irish dancer, and it's among the things she misses most.
She misses her friends at school, at dance class and at GB. She can't do any of those things now.
She's missed almost all of school since September, and now her AS levels are in doubt, at least for this year. What's the hardest thing about all of this for you as a dad?
There's a lot. It's kind of, I can't just choose one thing, but I used to love watching Rosie dance. You know, a couple of years ago we watched her dance on stage in Disneyland, and now, you know, to sit on the sofa with her and hold her as she cries.
Art is Rosie's passion, and this self-portrait work shows just what a talent she has. She's staying hopeful that new research will help treat this complicated and debilitating condition. Tara Mills, BBC Newsline, East Belfast.